Afternoon, everyone. Afternoon. Hope we are well. Welcome to FFTV with me, Francis Green. And yes, people, the king has spoken. The king has spoken. But first of all, I hope everyone is having a great week. The international games are nearly at an end, which is great for everyone because it feels like an eternity when we have to have international football when it's not a tournament, even though the Nations League final with decent World Cup qualifiers are not the best. I can tell you that. Not the best at all. So again, welcome to each and every one of you. See who's in the building already. Sid's in. Craig, as always. Salman's in. Craig is saying lemon and grass settings. Now I've had coffee and we're on water now. To be honest, Craig. So we're not at the lemongrass yet. It's too early in the day, I think, maybe, for a lemongrass, even though sometimes I do have them in the afternoon. So yeah, no lemongrass settings today, just water and coffee. So firstly, I just want to make an announcement quickly. I was going to wait. And some of the community was saying that they wanted it now. Some were saying, why don't you wait for an etc. But I just wanted to start doing live streams with community and members only, etc. And the other day I did kind of like a tester and we got a few people on the stream and it worked excellently. So I asked a few people after and they said, just start the membership things now. So I have started it. The join button is now officially on the page. Whoopie-doo. So yeah, you can now hit the join button. Make sure you become a member. A few things on there, support the channel, members, live streams, etc. And we'll just keep growing and growing. So appreciate each and every one of you as always. But the membership is now live. Even though it's early, I thought we'll do it. I thought we would do it. So let's get into the story. The story. Who else is in? Chris is in. Fran. We have not parked your combined harvest. You've not parked your combined harvester. R8, Lambo. Smash the like button, Fran. Big up, Fran. Big up, Lawrence. Big up, King. Al Beast. Great support. Chris and Brandon. The King Henry has spoken. Jameson has also put, I'm also here. Big up to each and every one of you, as always. I know Curtis did a stream earlier. So, listen. Curtis already broke it down, but sometimes I have a different point of view, etc. Brandon's put people hitting back at Henry because some people have soft mentality because of society. They hate the truth or dislikes. You got to remember, generations change. Right then, people, let's talk about this guy, the king. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Even though he is a king, wrong one. Henry has spoken, people, not Jon Snow. Jon Snow is now over. Henry has now spoken. Interesting that he has decided to come out and say something about this. Now, he is just a fan. At this moment in time, Henry is just a fan. So he's entitled to say whatever other fan is going to say. He is entitled to say whatever he wants to say. Now, I don't think he said anything out of what everyone else was going to say. I can't understand why people are getting the ump, but we'll touch on that as always. Muns is in the put. He puts, where's your face? I just put it up and we put a bit of Jon Snow in there, just a bit of humor for those Game of Thrones fans out there. So let's break it down. Okay. Let's just have a look about what he said. I know, like you say on Curtis's chat, you've already said it, but I mean, I can't see what he said wrong. Can you see what he said wrong? Let's get rid of that for you. I mean, let's have a look. Realistically, let's have a little zoom in as well. See if we can zoom in on this. Let's have a look. Here we are. So make sure we don't get that advert that always pops up. Let's have a look what he's saying here. There's an advert at the top of this, what comes on. Right, here we are. Make sure you can see. Yeah, you can see that. You can see that, people. So, Arsenal legend Thierry Henry questioned whether things are going in the right direction under current boss. I don't think no one else can ask. No one is wrong for asking that question. The Gunners lost their first 3 Premier League games of the season in a row under Arteta, but they have bounced back since. They have taken 10 points from their last 4 league matches, a sequence which included a victory over Tottenham in a North London derby. But speaking at the Prime Video Presents Sports 2021 showcase event, Henry said, I don't know if things are going in the right direction. I watched the Brighton game. Did you watch it? Fair enough. Did you watch the Brighton game? We all watched the Brighton game. He then goes on to say, I've seen us beat Norwich before, winning at Burnley, beating Tottenham at home, because we always beat Tottenham at home. Straight facts. Okay? Straight facts. He then goes on to say, I was more happy when we beat Tottenham as we were on a good run, but I was waiting to see a performance away from home against a team that passes the ball. I think we all said the same thing. Instead, we suffered. He is spitting pure facts. I was waiting to see the Brighton game, so if we could have the ball and keep the ball away from home, retaining possession against a dangerous Brighton side. And that was without Danny Welbeck and without Basuma. When we used to lose, history settings, I get some people don't like that, even after I left the team, it was always said that Arsenal don't have a plan B and that they pass too much for the sake of passing. But I didn't see that from Arsenal in the Brighton match. I saw Brighton do that. That's very interesting that he's highlighted the fact that all Arsenal teams used to pass. All Arsenal teams used to pass. Let's get rid of that now, all right? So what he's saying is he's not seeing an Arsenal team pass the ball, which we all associate Arsenal with passing the ball, which I don't get. I do not get. So I'm going to go to a couple of comments before I then carry on, because it's interesting what, if any of you think he's said or done anything wrong. Don't get it. Don't get it. Let's have a look at a few people. Smash the Lights King saying, did you see what Giroud said? I did see. He was more upset about Chelsea than Arsenal. I mean, that's a bit of a blow. Check the domination on the pick, on that pick of Henry. Determination on the pick of Henry. He's not messing around. He's not messing around. Henry mentality have always been elite. The wife's come in. She said St. Patrick's settings. I think she's on about power. What was that? I put Jon Snow on for you. Put Jon Snow. Oh, you're frozen. Something wrong with your connection, Chris. Something wrong with your connection. Good evening, and Senior Fran, obviously from S. Wade. Brett's come in. He said, hey, Fran, Thierry still has old school Arsenal standards. So many young hipsters fans can't handle winners. They all grew up on obviously Becky B, Hecky B mentality. I get it. The man said everything right. Only issue is that Arsenal organization mentality is not the same page as Henry. This is why he sits with Ek and not Edu. S. Wade has also put, with respect to Henry, he nearly relegated Monaco. Good message, bad messenger. Yes, doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to be a good manager. So that's the point, what some people would say. Henry is spot on, and he didn't say anything controversial or wrong. I fully agree. Arsenal out. He is destroying Martinelli's career. FFS is saying mediocrity is rife at the football club. Henry spitting facts. The better Arteta leaves, the better. Love Fran. Keep up the great work. Yeah, keep up the support as well. Absolutely appreciate it. Henry is the man. D Brown is saying Arteta out. And Next is saying, I can't believe some of our fans would slander Henry over this bootleg manager. It's crazy. Big up Fran from Rich, and he's saying, I didn't see anything wrong. He said like it is. He has experience to chat facts. Now, some would say, Eric's coming from Sweden as well. Big love from Sweden. Some would say, Fran, he was poor at Monaco. He came back to the UK because he didn't really cut it in America or whatever. And I get some people have a point. But he's only speaking from the same way as what we speak. We don't have experience as managers. We only have experience of maybe playing, watching, or coaching, etc. So, but he's entitled to his opinion. What he's saying is what he sees now. One, it's not the Arsenal of old. We get that. And two, it's not what he thinks Arsenal should be going. It's not what he thinks Arsenal where they should be at, or whether they're heading in the right direction. Now, there's been a lot of, how can I put it? There's been a lot of, would you say a lot, or maybe just a small minority of a little bit of hate and people saying he shouldn't have said that? Who does he think he is? Henry this, he failed at Monaco, blah, 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 blah. I find that incredible that any Arsenal fan would say anything against Henry when he's not said anything wrong. So my only stance on this must be the people who are slandering Henry have been fans for 2 minutes. And I'm not saying that because someone has been a fan for longer, it makes them more of a fan. You know, I don't agree with things like that. You got to have a balanced argument. However, we have to, you, whoever it may be, have to go away and educate yourself before you start slandering a player like Henry that we've had in our football club. I was the same. I didn't agree with the slander that Wenger got. And a lot of people, and I didn't agree with it. I said, I don't think we can do that. We have to look at the circumstances. Some people will say, Fran, there's another side to it, and I fully get that. But to slander Henry, who has just basically said he doesn't think Arteta is the right man for this. He doesn't see Arsenal moving in the right direction. I don't understand why people would slander him for saying that when 99.9% of the people say exactly the same thing. So I can't get my head around why people would have a go at him for saying what he's saying. I think his points are very valid. We know we're going to beat Norwich. Okay. We know we're probably going to beat Burnley. A little bit of a test. We always beat Spurs. Spurs were horrific. Okay. And then the test was Brighton. We all said that. And we failed. And I think we failed miserably. Because if Brighton were on song, that game would have been a lot worse than what it actually is. So I can't believe why people would get upset with what he is saying. Now, some people would say, Fran, but he wants the job. He's trying to tarnish the manager. He's trying to put a little bit more pressure on the manager. He wants Eck to buy the club. I get all that. And maybe he does have a little bit of an agenda. Or he's just like us. He's not happy what he's not happy what he's having to watch, because he's probably got even more of an emotional connection because he's played for this club. And he has been a hero and an icon and a statue outside the ground for this club. So it actually probably hurts him more than most fans when it comes to what is actually happening to this club, you know? But for me, I don't want him to be manager, by the way. I think it could ruin his legacy. I do not want him to be manager. I do not want Eck to buy it and make Henry the manager. I really, really don't, people. I really don't. Let me go through a couple of the comments. For those that are late, I did mention it's a lot earlier than I wanted to, but after a great stream with some of the community the other day, membership is now live. F90. And the reason it's called F90, F90s is because full 90 minutes. We all want to play 40, 90 minutes. That's the branded side of it. F90, full 90. That is our community, okay? So make sure if you want to join in, make sure the join button is now officially on the old YouTube page. So always nice to see people get involved in that way. See what else people are saying. Richard said, big up, Fran. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Yep, seeing straight facts. Big up from Sweden. Brandon's saying soft. Listen, soft mentality. That's why people cannot take on rewords. I think that the generation, I mean, most, you know, I'm not saying most of you, if any of you have got children, I've got children ranging from 21 on Saturday all the way down to 4.5, okay? And their mindset is completely different. As much as I try and implement a certain mindset, honestly, the world is a completely different place than it was 10, 15 years ago. And it will be, and it probably was the same when my parents were 10, 15, years apart or whatever it may be. But it's very, very soft now. You can't say anything to no one. People get offended by the littlest thing. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to say their opinion without any repercussions. Everyone thinks it's terrible if you disagree with them. I mean, the world is completely soft. It's unbelievable. And I think that's the problem that we've got here. You've got the Roy Keanes. People are like, I don't like Roy Keane. I don't like Graham Souness. They're a little bit harsh. And I'm like, you've got to remember that's the era that they played football in. Even when I was playing, I've told you I had to stand in the rain and be a cone for a first team training session. I am the original cone man, not Arteta. I had to stand in the rain. Now, today you would get done for bullying. Craig Bellamy got done for bullying for telling a player to do more press-ups than he should have been doing. Like, the game has completely changed. And I think the problem that you've got is you can tell by the game it's completely soft. And you would have had incidents at work or maybe family members or wherever that you've said something and people have taken offense to it. And you're like, what? You've really taken offense to that? And to us, it's just like water off a duck's back. It's just normal. Like, but the world has changed. The world has changed. Omi's saying Henry is king, and he's saying what we were saying. It's the truth, and the truth hurts, and the truth does hurt. The truth does hurt, but people always have something to say about that you shouldn't be saying the truth. Listen, the best thing you can do is talk the truth. Thierry is just saying what most of us already think. Daz is just locked in. Great support as always. Hope I haven't missed anyone. Sentiment, not seeing you for a while, mate. Hope you're well. Fran, last night, I personally think that the North London derby was a performance for Henry. Interesting. He was at the game. Eck was at the game. Yeah, it's very interesting. I may have missed some other comment. You know, I like to go through the comments. Salman has put, oh, by the way, Salman came on the other day. Excellent when he came on the show. Just my opinion. I think people are more upset that that he actually said it than what he was actually saying, because we all watch what he just said. I think you've got a good point. I think rather than knuckling down and actually what he said, which it wasn't that bad, people are more interested in, oh, well, he said something. You know, Henry can't manage to save his life. No, I don't think he should be a manager. I think maybe he should be like, because he does well at Belgium when it comes to coaching. I think he should be like striker coach. Do you know what I mean? Like, or footballing, sporting director, football director, where he's got that relationship. He's got the va-va-voom, as he says in his adverts. Comes up in a nice suave suit, freshly shaven and all that, or his beard in his case, and try and get some deals done. I think he would be better that way. Rather than trying to be a manager. You've got to be a certain type of person, I think, to be a manager. We are all convinced Tito 14. Big up, Fran. More life. Hope the family is good and doing fantastic. And the same to you as well, sentiment as always. The youth these days won't have ever seen Titi. Listen, the used to play have not got a clue. Not a clue. And that's not to say the old man syndrome where, well, back in my day, things are different. It's part of it. Things are different. We understand that. Generation's different. You can't treat people the way that you could have 10, 15 years ago, 20, 30 years ago. No way. You have to discipline people in a completely different way. The generation is different. It's very, very different. So what Henry's talking about, the old school, hard-nosed kind of way of being a footballer is now out the window. You've seen the way these footballers fall on the floor. You've seen the way these footballers complain about every little thing. It's a completely different world to when Henry was playing. You couldn't complain like that. You got on with it. You got on with it. So it is very, very different. And we have to take that into consideration, because we do have young people in the community, and their mindset and their belief system is going to be very different from the older generation in the community and in life. So we must take that on board. Chris has put, Salmon, I am the same. My generation can't believe the low intellect and softness of the latest generation. It's worse in the US than the UK. Western democracy is coming apart. And I believe the fact that we have a democracy has gave society too much of a voice, and it's now making us a lot weaker. It's making us weaker because everyone has a voice. Everyone has an excuse. It's always everyone else's fault. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Timothy's put, Henry was the greatest Arsenal player. Fan base need to show some respect. I mean, I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe it. How can any fan criticize Thierry? Surely no Arsenal fan can say that they are happy where the club is at the moment. That's what I thought. So how can you criticize? But listen, you're going to have Arteta fans, okay? I get that. But surely you can still agree with what he's trying to say. Surely. If you don't agree with that, then I beg the question is, are you interested in football? Are you watching football? Do you really want Arsenal to do well? That's the question that I would ask. And I would love to hear it. Oh, victim culture full effect. I mean, you can make a fortune off Instagram by feeling sorry for yourself. I mean, you can make a fortune off any platform by by feeling sorry for yourself. The victim drum is well and truly going in this world. And I think that's why footballers, certain managers don't get the best out of footballers. Because, like you say, they don't know how to react. These today use a soft friend snowflake mentality. Serious. Yes, our insight will be a bit different. Of course it will. Listen, different generations will have a completely different insight and belief system of the way that they think things should go. That's just something that my age you've got to accept. You know, Chris is a generation older than me, and he expects different attitudes and beliefs and morals than what I do. And then my children, I call them the Love Island generation, they accept even less of morals and things like that. It's just the way that it goes down. S. Wade has put, fans these days support individuals more than the football clubs. That's why Henry's getting the backlash. Very good point. Too concerned with first world problems these days. Very, very true. You know, we've got people in the chat and we've got people in the community who live in countries that, you know, are way behind and probably will never get to the standard of England and the UK and Europe, but people are still smiling, people are still happy, appreciating with what they got, and I don't see them banging the victim drum, you know, so we will see. D. Brown has put, why is anyone an Arteta fan? Serious question. Listen, you're always going to have that. You're always going to have people who like things that you don't like. That's just the way of the world. No one's right, no one's wrong, you know. I can't see why, but they may like his personality. They may actually like his style of play. They may be liking the P word that they're trying to do. They may like that, and they're not wrong or they're not right. That's just their beliefs. But I do tend to think if you want the best for Arsenal, then why would you want that to happen so much, if you know what I mean? This is why old school managers like Mourinho struggle in today's players, and you hit it bang on, King. They struggle. They really, really do struggle. Little Wing has put, I think we need to distinguish match-going fans and Twitter fans, not the same people, not the same vibe. We're in strange times. Very true. And a massive shout out to King becoming the official first member of FFTV and becoming an F90, a full 90. I hope you get a full 90 when next time you play football, that's for sure. I hope you get a full 90. Brandon's put, I am 30, friend. My nephew asked me how we did projects in school. I told him we used to walk to the library with our mates and work together. He told me, damn, that's Asian. Laugh out loud. Kids nowadays. Yeah, listen, my kids can't believe certain things. Cannot believe some of the things that I tell them. I'm like, do this. They're like, what? I'm not doing that. I have to pull my son up when he asks for a drink of water. And I'm like, you have legs, you have a tap. You need to go and get your own water, son, you know? You need to go and get your own water. Steve J saying, don't think he's got an agenda, friend, just speaking from the heart. And I think he is, but I think people are looking too deep into it and trying to get him out as well. And social, big up Social, one of the day one supporters, another member, absolutely unbelievable. Massive respect to yourself. You and King really, really do appreciate the support. Another F90. Social, can I get a full 90 out of you on the football pitch, eh? Revenant FC has put, Fran, another big thing is these people live on social media, don't work, and they don't interact with people a lot. So they are desensitized from real life struggles. Twitter is not real life. Yeah, I mean, social media is another level. Like I say, I only have Twitter. I came off all the other platforms, and eventually I'll probably not have a phone. I said it in Green Mind, go and check one of those videos out. And people will just have to go through my wife. These social media fools criticizing TT, I know, are stupid. They need to pipe down. I mean, I have no idea what Lee Gunner's going to say. He's probably going to lose his head. That is for sure. He's probably going to lose his head. He'll probably start chasing all those accounts again that he did last time. Oh, people. Absolutely crazy. Right. Let's leave King Henry alone. Right. Let's just leave him alone. For now. Let's leave him alone. Chris has put, Fran, you will have to explain what a member is and what's involved. Okay, yeah. So quickly, I didn't really want to go on it too much because it's one of those things. So remember, basically, there's 3 tiers to the membership. The first tier is just obviously supporting the channel, and you will get priority to comments and things like that. Second tier is same as the first tier, but which will be the platinum one, which will be members live stream onlys, prioritize, plus the first ones and badges, etc. That's what they do on the first stage. And the third one, which will be exclusive, obviously live streams, live priority on call-ins, more live call-ins as well. And then what I'm lining up now is I will get a couple of guests on, trying to get some, VIP guests, as they say. Hard to get hold of them. And then we will have, live interactions with the VIP guests. But they are very hard to get hold of these days, especially on YouTube, because like I said, society, they just do as they wish. So number 1 is standard, support the channel. Number 2, priority and live streams. And then 3, everything as that, but live streams, more live streams, personal videos, and try and get some VIP things as well. And then once we bring, little merch out, etc., things like that, discounts and all little things like that. But the more that we keep doing it, the more that we grow. So I hope everyone, and the reason it's called F90 is that's a brand that I'm working on, and it means full 90 minutes. Full 90, because we all want to get full 90. No one ever wants to play 45 minutes or 60 minutes. Just ask Jack Grealish, who got dragged again yesterday. He got dragged again yesterday. And the price, as Chris is asking, he's saying, how much of the cost of membership, friend, goes to YouTube and not FFTV? I believe 30% goes to YouTube, and the 70% goes to FFTV on memberships. And then I believe on super chats, it's something like 40% goes to YouTube or something like that. YouTube are making an absolute killing. However, on the flip side, I get to do this. I get to build a community. And you know what? The platform is, in my eyes, magnificent to build a community and interact with people like yourself. So yes, you have that kind of tax, but it just helps us keep growing, and the more that we can do, the bigger we can grow. So thanks for the questions, Chris. Thanks for reminding me to explaining, obviously, the gold, platinum, and exclusive F90 memberships. Really do appreciate each and every one of you, as always. Brandon's put, Franny, I will definitely join a membership soon. Banking in South Africa. Did you see South Africa football team above Ghana in our group? Yeah, I remember when South Africa were class. 45% super chats, YouTube take. Well, there you go. Even more, 45% on the super chats. That's why I think a lot of people go to Twitch. But it's more gaming, I believe, on Twitch. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's a lot less, I believe. A lot less. Asando's put, big up OG Fran. It has been long. Hope you're well. I hope you're well, Asando, and I hope everything is blessed and life is blessed. But I remember when South Africa, going back to that, had I'm sure they had Lucas Redeby, Benny McCarthy, Fish. Did they have a Fish? A centre-back called Fish. I'm sure he was in the Premier League. They had some players. Back then, but they've struggled. They've struggled for many years. Maybe it's to do with whatever goes on, politics, etc., over the last few decades over when it comes to South Africa. So now, people, Steven Pienaar, what a baller he was. Steven Pienaar was a baller. Come on, he was a baller. Chris has put, best I saw Grealish playing England shirt yesterday. Why take him off? He was better than Saka. And you know what? I can't disagree. I can be a critic of Jack Grealish, but I thought Jack Grealish yesterday was outstanding. And he took him off. And Declan Rice was just struggling playing that anchor role on his own. He definitely needs someone next to him. Definitely. Fran, one of my favorite YouTubers, Arsenal for Life. Really do appreciate the love, as always. Right, people, we are now going to go on to, because we're half an hour in, our next fixtures. So we've spoken about Henry for half an hour. So let's speak about our next fixtures and see what we are about this big break. And then we have two home games, which I'm looking forward to next week, against Palace and then against Villa, which is interesting. Very interesting. Let me get these fixtures up. Where are my fixtures? Here we are. I hope that you can see that. I'm not sure that you can. Let's zoom in. Here we are. Let's zoom right in. And there we are. Right. So first one, where are we? There we are. Here we are. Right. So this one here, I think that we win this game, people. I've got to be honest, right? Now, I know Eze's back, but he's been out for so long. You've got Saha, you've got Edward, who'll be looking to prove a point. Guy at the back. They're not bad. They're not bad. The boy in midfield, forgot his name. The boy in midfield from Chelsea. Blondish hair, busy, always all over the place. Forgot his name. It's not Gallagher, is it? Is it Gallagher? No, I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's the midfield what lets them down a little bit. I think at the back, they're not bad. But going forward, they can be a problem. But in the midfield, that's it. Gallagher. Daz is right. Gallagher. In the middle of the midfield, I think that we're better than them. So that's where a lot of games are won. A lot of games are won in the middle of the park. I've always said it. If you want to coach, if you want to become a coach, just get the middle of the pitch okay. And a lot of the time, it wins the game because they can control the game from the middle. They can slow the pace up. They can speed the pace of the game and all these little things from the middle. As long as you've got a decent centre back, and they're not bad at the back. And with us having the one up top, they could cause problems. However, I think at home we should be okay because we're not shocking. And I think this is. Would you say this is less of a test than Brighton away? I think this is less of a test than Brighton away. I really do. Patrick Vieira's coming back. He's going to get a lot of love, but people are not going to be bothered whether Patrick Vieira wins. They want him to lose. 57 in the chat. Absolutely unbelievable. 2 new members. Well, first 2 members joining the members group, which is absolutely excellent. Now, Patrick Vieira is going to come as soon as that whistle goes. Listen, we ain't friends when that whistle goes, okay? We ain't friends. When that whistle goes, I want to beat you. And that's how it needs to be. And people need to understand that. So Patrick Vieira, yes, he's done okay. He's done okay. But I think that we should be beating Crystal Palace. Let's be honest, people. We should be beating Crystal Palace. So for this game, I am going to predict a 3-1 win. I'm going to predict a 3-1 win for this game. Monday night, everyone's back. They've had a good break. Now, did this international break come at a good time or a bad time for Arsenal? The last one came at a magnificent time because we needed that break. Did this one come as a bad time? I'm not too sure. A couple of you comments. Arnie's comedy said, afternoon, Fran. He's just got home. I'm going to have to rewind to the start. Cheers and love to all. I hope you've had a good day and it has gone well for you. Tony's put in, he should be beating Palace at home, expecting 3 points for us from this one. And JM25 was put, big up, Fran, driving home from work, enjoying the show. Make sure you keep your eyes on the road. That's a big bit of advice, okay? But we all love a YouTube in the car, that's for sure. And Chris has put, don't underestimate Vieira. He will want to show he's a better manager and tactician than Arteta in front of the Arsenal board. And you'll bang on because don't get it twisted, he's looking for this job. He's looking for this job. Of course he's looking for this job. He's thinking, I do well at Palace, I'm getting the Arsenal job. I'm in London. He's probably already been squeezed. Henry and Eck have already said, keep doing what you're doing. So he needs to do well at Palace. So it's a very, very good point that he's going to motivate these players more than anyone to make sure that he cracks on. That is for sure. Sentiments has put, Fran, I wouldn't be dismissive of Palace motivation. Palace fans haters are hard due by Arsenal. I believe Eze was former Arsenal Academy kid released, proving Vieira proving managerial dominance over Arteta. There's a lot going on there, and you're right. Saha always wants to impress. Eze thinks he should be playing at Arsenal, and I think he should. I think it's crazy that they released him. And Vieira wanting to win over Arteta. You have a very, very good point. But I'm still going to go for a 3-1. I think we're going to be comfortable in this game for periods. We're going to have the ball more, and I'm going to go for a 3-1. And by the way, if we lose this game, it's proof that we have not moved forward. It's there right in front of your faces that we have not moved forward. So I don't only want to see a win. I want to see a comprehensive win. That's what I want to see. And it'll be interesting to see how we play. Score predictions on the Palace one, people. Score predictions on the Palace one. You know, John has made a good point, like we said earlier. Maybe Henry's got his eye of director of football. I think that suits him more than anything else, John, to be honest. I think it suits him. So 61 in the chat. Absolutely unbelievable support this afternoon, each and every one of you. Hope you all well. And a big shout out to Curtis as well, who may be watching. He did his stream earlier, which was great to see. King is saying 1-0 Arsenal. I think we will struggle to score goals under Mikel. Craig is going for a 4-1. Mishane is saying Henry is right. Come on. I don't know how we can disagree. Tony's saying he agrees with the 3-1. So we're going for 4-1, 3-1. Chris is saying 2-2. Arthur Gunner is saying 1-1. You know, there's some mixed bag of opinions in there. Brett Jeffers is saying 0-0. I mean, 0-0. 0-0. I can't see 0-0. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Jay is saying 1-0 to the Arsenal. I mean, if I think 3-1. So I don't know what something's telling me 3-1. I think they'll buckle a 10-15 minute period where we'll score a couple of goals. Revenant has put 2 on Arsenal. Steve J has put 2-2. So it's a big mix of results. Big mix of results. Big mix. Interesting. Social saying, when's the last time a black manager managed a top team? I hope Patrick Vieira can show he can do it at Palace and become Arsenal manager. Well, we all know there's always this shout in there about black managers and mixed race or black heritage, whatever it may be. Whether we like it or not, right? It's in the game. It's in the game, whether we like it or not, right? It's in the game. Sounds like EA Sports. That should be a good one, actually. But it's subconscious racism. It's racism that can't really be highlighted without someone saying the race card. I mean, Sol Campbell doesn't do black managers any favors whatsoever with the way that he speaks about it. But there is racism in the game. And you've also got to understand, without going too deep, the people who employ managers are of an old cloth, old mentality. It will only start to change when the likes of Henry or Patrick Vieira then become directors of football, or that generation starts to change. Remember, Les Ferdinand, Chris Ramsey, Houghton, he brought them in, you know. So you need someone in that position. But not a lot of black ex-footballers want to go into coaching. I, for one, wouldn't go into it because of the path and because of the subconscious racism. So you've got a very, very small amount of black coaches who want to become managers because of the route. And also, it's a tough gig to try and convince someone, because the color of your skin, unfortunately, at times, subconsciously and deliberately can work against you in football. And in a lot of sports, come on, you know, a lot of sports. It's just unfortunate that is the case. Ray's put, greeting friend, completely agree that Vieira definitely had a point to prove AFC management. He is coming to school Arteta at the Emirates, but least I expect from Art is 1-0 win to the Arsenal. Another 1-0. Frank Rijkaard must be the last one. I mean, you don't see many. They tend to filter in and then they go and do something else. So it looks like we're all agreeing. What about the guy who managed Charlton, Houghton managed in the Premier League? Yeah, he's not long been sacked from Forest. Terrible job at Forest. Terrible. We then go on to people. Let's go on to this bad boy. Arsenal against Villa. Arsenal against Villa. Now, this is a tough one for me. I don't know what you think, people, but this is very, very tough for me. Very, very tough. At home, Villa at the moment now are one of those teams that are trying to take us out of our section in the league. They're trying to kick us out, along with Spurs, along with Leicester, along with Newcastle eventually, West Ham and Arsenal. Okay, they're trying to kick us out of that. They want a piece of that pie. Okay. Now, Villa did do the double overs last season. Villa did do the double overs, as Craig rightly puts in the chat. That could be motivation for Arteta. Say, listen, you know, they mugged us off last year. Buendia, everyone was moaning about Buendia. He's not really set the world alight at the moment. It's interesting how no one's really speaking about him at the moment. which is interesting. Very, very interesting. No one's really speaking about him. He has to find his feet a little bit. But this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough. And I think it's very hard to predict this score without the Palace game already being played, if you know what I mean, because the form and the mentality from that game will obviously trickle into the Villa game. But this is going to be a tough one. I think we'll win Palace, but I think we might lose this one. And I don't want to sound negative, people, because I think a draw is a very, very good result for us against a Villa team. I think a draw would be very good for us. But my heart wants to tell me win against Palace, draw against Villa. But my head is telling me something different. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 loss. Konza and Mings, if they're playing, they're solid. Matty Cash, if he's playing, will get forward. We'll probably deal quite well with our wingers. It's just a tough one. Villa are playing well, but being at home 2-1, Tony's saying. Salmon's going for a 0-0. Boy Tandio is saying Buendia probably has his breakthrough game against us. That seems to be what always happens when we come up against up-form players. Would not surprise me, to be honest, if that happened. Can you imagine Buendia turns up and he does his thing because he's got something to prove? And it's normally motivation. I remember if I was ever out of the team for whatever reason, and we was to play one of my old teams, or we was to play a team that I'd done well in the past, managers would just bring me in out of the cold and just say, right, you're starting today. And you're thinking, what? I ain't played for 4 games. You've mugged me off. But they just know that you suited the way that they played, and you'd end up going scoring and doing well. So, like say, Buendia could be one that turn up. I hope not. I hope not. Craig's going to sit on the fence here. Ardu Gunner is saying 2-0. Social saying a draw all day long. 1-1. This is a tricky one, people. I'm gonna maybe ruffle a few feathers, and I think we're gonna lose 2-1. I hope not. Of course not. I hope not. I'm just going with what my opinion is. I think we're going to lose 2-1. Johnny's saying Ødegaard needs to turn up for us. Ødegaard's done well since he's come in. At times, he was terrible against Brighton. It was his first terrible game, I thought. Even though everyone else was bad, it was his first terrible game, but he does need to turn up. Mr. PKA has put Mings is overrated and prone for a mistake. 1-0 Arsenal. Listen, he is well overrated, in my opinion. Well overrated. But he's strong. And I think Aubameyang struggles against people who he gets bullied against. But he's prone to a mistake. And how he's in the England squad and Konza is not, I do not know, people. I do not know. Chris has put, it's very difficult to guess this one. It depends on the confidence from the Palace game. And that's why I think it's hard to go a game ahead. But we'll do it. We'll do it for the community's sake. You know, we'll do it for our video. We'll do it for our content. And then we'll see where we're at in two weeks maybe. But, well, you know, not even in 2 weeks, maybe in 10 days. So, Palace, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. Okay? I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. Villa, I'm going to go for a 2-1 home loss, which is really going to rattle a few feathers. We've got the EFL Cup, okay? Leeds at home. We need to play a strong team here. And the reason we need to play a strong team, because I believe Leeds will play a strong team. Maybe not. But if they do and we don't, we will get overrun, in my opinion. So we need to play a strong team. If we play a strong team, I think we nick this one. If we don't play a strong team, unpredictable. And I could not tell you. So we will see what happens with that. It is a cup game, so we will see. This is an interesting point. Eric, going off topic a little bit. You should buy Isaac. On the other hand, I'd like to see him at a big club. He's at a little bit of a dig at a big club. I'm not convinced with him yet. But that's not to say I don't like him. I'm just not convinced yet. I need to see more of him, etc. John Davis is saying that we're going to go for 3-1 Arsenal on the Leeds game. If we play a strong team, I think we do this one. I think we do it 2-3-1. 2-0. 2-0. All right. If we don't play a strong team, it could be a struggle. It could be a struggle, people, I've got to admit. Sanders put, honestly, those 2 games, not confident. Both managers will be licking their lips. Interesting. 67 in the chat. Absolutely unbelievable support from each and every one of you, as always. Now, the cup game, we want to win, but we know it's points that we need in the Premier League, okay? We then go on to the 30th, the last game of this month, Leicester away. Now, by the way, people, those 3 league games are not easy. As you know, you don't need me to tell you that these 3 league games are not easy. They really, really are not easy. So let me just get rid of that and let me get back on the screen, people. Now, Leicester at the moment, right? Leicester at the moment are not flying. They're beneath us in the table. They've only got 1 win. Let's be honest. They've got 1 win out of their last 5. They've got 2 defeats and 2 draws. There's a lot of pressure on Brendan Rodgers at the moment. So they're not exactly firing like they were. They're not exactly firing like they were. Now, you think about it. We get the win against Palace because, by the way, you know, Palace, they've only won the 1. 2, same as Leicester, 1-1, 2 draws, 2 losses. No, 3 draws and 1 loss, even though they're beneath Leicester. 1 point, 1 position beneath Leicester. So they're all in around us. If you look at Palace, Leicester, and Villa, they're 10th, we're 11th, Villa. And then you've got Leicester, it's 13th, and Palace, 14th. So very, very close. You know, it's a toss of a coin when it comes to who is going to do that. So it's interesting to see where we will be at the end of October. It really, really is. Now, Leicester's tricky. I think we could get a point at Leicester. I really do. I really do think we could get a point at Leicester. I don't think they're firing, but they are a team that tend to do okay against us. The Vardy show always tends to do something, don't he? Vardy always tends to do something. Could be a problem. Could be a problem. Just going back to Isaac, King has obviously put the following Isaac live back when I was living in Sweden. My opinion is that Isaac is a good talent, but not ready for the Premier League yet. Maybe in 2 years. So would it be a good time to buy him now, so he doesn't so he's not flying and we have to play the premium, or would you swerve that one? And Social has also put he thinks the Foxes 3-0 win against the Foxes. Very confident shout out. Very, very confident shout out. So it's a tricky one, people. It really, really is a tricky one for me. I'm going to go for, and you might think, friend, this is crazy because you said we're going to lose at home to Villa. Leicester are not firing on all cylinders, but I think Villa are doing not bad. Even though Villa have only won 2 in their last 5. I'm going to go for, I don't think we're going to stop them from scoring. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I'm going to go for a 1-1. So what's that then? I'm going to go Palace 3-1. I'm going to go a loss against Villa 2-1. Leeds, that's a cup game. I think we'll beat that depending on the team, so it's hard to say. And Leicester, I'm going to go for a 1-1. So that's a point, 4 points out of a possible 7. I mean, would you take 4 points out of a possible 7? Would you take 4 points out of a possible 7, people? I'm not sure most people would. I'm really not. Dad has put, we will be lucky to get a point at Leicester. Vardy, odds on to score against us. He's just got, he loves scoring against us, doesn't he? Craig has put 2-2, so he's gone for a draw. The Goon has put, it depends on what they do in the next few games. It's a big one. You know, people are saying that the 4 points from 7 is just not good enough. No way. No way. Well, 4 from 9, should I say? Yeah, 4 from 9, should I say? What we're on about? I'm just adding the points up. So 4 points out of 9. Would you be in? No, it's not enough, is it? It's not enough. It's not enough. So we need 2 wins. We need 2 wins. We need 2 wins. 2 wins. 4 points out of 9 is not enough. No, not enough. Not enough. King is saying that he would wait, see what happens with Balogun and Martinelli before going for Isaac. Will cost 80 million. I don't believe he's worth it. Think he's 80 million? Think they'll want 80 million now? No one's paying 80 million now, are they? Surely not. Surely not. I know he signed a new deal though, didn't he? An extension. So I believe 7 points will do. So 2 wins and a draw. That's mid-table behavior. It is. I mean, 4 from 9 and he's gone. John's saying. I mean, 4 from the, in a way, we're expected, should be beating Palace. Okay, we should be beating Palace. I think a draw against Villa, people would be thinking, okay, a draw against the people that are around you, because if you don't lose against the people around you, but you beat the people beneath you, you tend to finish okay in the season. And it would be a huge win if we win away at Leicester. But there is a chance because they're not great. We'll beat Leicester 2-1. Keep the faith, Mickey's saying. It's interesting, isn't it, how we have different ways of viewing the game, what we think we will do, what we won't do. It's very, very interesting. And we do go, you know, when we go overhead and we try and analyze it and try and break all these games down, none of us know. As much as we think, right, we know what we're talking about to a degree, none of us know. It's just crazy. Osin has put, Fran, come on with that we'll lose to Villa. We're winning that 3-1. Listen, my heart wants to tell me that we're going to win, of course. But my head's telling me, Fran, you're going to let yourself down. You're setting yourself up for disappointment here. I do think we'll win against Palace quite comfortably. I really do, but I'm just not sure. Brandon's got to go. Hope you all, mate. Keep safe, and thank you again for being in the chat. I really, really do appreciate it. I know what he's saying, Osin. I know what he's saying. I should be more confident, but I don't want to just be confident for the sake of being confident. I want to try and break it down in my head and say, I think this, but I do think we'll beat Palace. I think we'll draw against Villa. I think we'll lose against Villa, and I think we'll draw against City. Now, people, you know, if we win against Palace, draw against Villa, draw against Leicester, that's 5 points. I think people would be all right. 5 out of 9, you know what I mean? We will see. We will see. 4 from 9, win versus Palace, draw against Villa, loss at Leicester. It still sounds all right, but it's not when you look at the points. 4's not good enough. I would accept no less than 7 and throw in the cup. And you know what? You know what, PKA? I agree. The fact is, the matter is, we shouldn't accept anything less than going through in the 7 points. We shouldn't. And I think the future videos in the next 10 days from many, many Arsenal or football content creators, whoever it may be, if they just cover Arsenal or as much as they can, like I try and cover others as well. I think 7 and through to the next round is good. I do think less than 7 and out of the cup is not good enough. Not good enough at all. So let's hope, you know, John makes a good point. Abba might start scoring. Partey might hit the net, because he has done for obviously Garner, etc. Even though the goalkeeper definitely is in match fixing, 100%. Definitely, he will be on bad sport next series. That is for sure. With letting that Partey one in, can tell you that. Joe's put, if Aubameyang turns up those games, we should go in January alongside Pepe. I can't see us getting rid of him. I think Aubameyang's here for see his contract out. I've got to be honest. Elderly abuse connoisseurs put, Mikel Arteta is just Tim Sherwood in a blazer instead of a gilet. He's got a Tim Sherwood. Salman has put, I think a bunch of draws are coming from Arteta. Can you imagine 3 draws? Partey needs to stop hitting pigeons. Partey, I don't know what. Listen, you know what they say? If you don't shoot, you don't score. So one has to go in eventually. I also want that cup. We always pepper Leeds. Listen, I think Leeds' style suits us. They come out, they try and come out. We soak it up, and then we can hit them on the break. I think it suits us. We struggle against teams that sit in. So I want them to come out at us. I really, really do need them to come out against us, because if we have to break them down, we're going to struggle. We are going to struggle. We have to break them down. We really, really are, people. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Monday. It's a long weekend. What are we on tomorrow? Thursday. I think because we're playing on the Monday, maybe on the Friday, we'll do a match preview. We'll get some news to see who's injured after the international break, etc. We will do a preview on the Friday. So we'll see what popping up tomorrow. As always, Your support is unbelievable. Welcome the new members, first day of the members, and straight away we've got a couple in, so it's absolutely unbelievable. Appreciate if you do join. Obviously support the channel and we can start growing on the content side of things. But like you say, I think we'll do the preview, should I say, on Friday with the Premier League as well. We will also do watch alongs because they'll be on. So Monday night football is definitely going to be on, and Friday night football. So we're going to be doing the watch alongs as well, as always in the community. And I imagine many people will be excited that the Premier League is back this weekend. Obviously, Varane seems injured for Man City and Man United, and there will be a few questions around the players that have obviously come back early, where they have got injuries. Fingers crossed at the moment. I don't think there's any injuries, and touch wood, to any Arsenal players at the moment, but things could change. Let's hope that that is not the case. So as always, people, your contributions towards the stream has been unbelievable. I appreciate each and every one of you as always. Big up to yourselves, your families. Make sure you take care of yourself, your families, and your friends. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and that is me for the rest of the day. Like I say, stay blessed, and I will see you all tomorrow. Okay, you take care. You take care.